Hi everyone. We say man has occupied the balcony seat of a cinema theatre. So what are the other very important characteristic features? We can classify the mammals into different types. So far we studied about both the invertebrates as well as the vertebrates. Welcome back to the last session of this very important chapter called Animal Kingdom. So chapter 15. This is the last session of this very important and interesting chapter called Animal Kingdom. What are we going to study in this session? In the last session, we studied about class aves or birds. And as I said, birds are called as what? Glorified reptiles, and they are also called as masters of air. Moving on to the last class, that is class Mammalia. Mammals. Commonly we call them as mammals. Right here you can see they are moving across, and the Cenozoic era is called as the age of mammals. Cenozoic era is called the age of mammals. It is called what? The age of mammals. So we call, as I said right from the beginning, I am telling, the animals have evolved from simplicity to complexity. So we call class mammals or class Mammalia or mammals as the highest group of organisms. Why do we call them as the highest group of organisms? They have a better body organization compared to the other animals. Like starting from invertebrate phyla to the vertebrate phyla, we can see a lot of changes that is happening inside the body, which has made them to lead a very successful life. Hence we call the mammals as the highest group of animals. Like for example, we say man has occupied the balcony seat of a cinema theatre. Means man is considered as the highest animal. So very good classical example of mammals is what? Man. Man is a very good classical example of class mammal. We are all mammals, right? And then let us move on with the very important characteristic features of these mammals. Here you can see cetacea. Right? You can see this animal. Now, what are the very important characteristic features? So, mammals are warm-blooded animals. As you know, the body temperature is constant. It does not change according to the external environment. If outside it is cold, our body will not become cold. Inside if it is hot, outside if it is hot, body will not become hot. So, the body temperature is constant. So, they are called warm-blooded animals or homeotherms. And they are the terrestrial tetrapods. Most of the mammals are terrestrial except for some secondary aquatic animals like whales. You might have come across whale. Whale is an aquatic mammal. As you know, mammals cannot survive in water because of that cold. But you know how it is possible for whale to survive? It has a fat tissue called, it is having a fat tissue called blubber. Which is acting as an insulating material which releases what? Heat, so that it can overcome what? Overcome coldness of water. It can overcome coldness of water. That is the reason why it is able to survive in water. So most of them are terrestrial. They are four-legged animals. As you know, they are called four-legged animals. They are terrestrial tetrapods except for some, that is like aquatic, secondary aquatic mammals like whales. Next, the skin is glandular, having sweat or sudorific glands and sebaceous glands, oil glands also. All this is one means of maintaining the body temperature. And as I said, they are also very responsible for removal of waste from the body also. The skin is glandular, having sweat or sudorific glands and sebaceous glands. So moving on to the class Mammalia, or we also call them as what? Mammals. And a classical example for mammal is what? Man. As I said, man is considered as the highest animal, or man occupies the balcony seat of a cinema theatre. That means he is having a very high rank, right, among the animals in the animal kingdom. And as I said, the age of mammals The age of mammals is Cenozoic era. It is Cenozoic era. Cenozoic era is called the period where the mammals were more dominant. It is called Cenozoic era. Moving on to the characteristic features, they are warm-blooded animals or homeotherms, and they are terrestrial tetrapods except for secondary aquatic animals like whales, and the skin is glandular, having sweat or sudoriferous glands and sebaceous glands. Moving on to the other important characteristic features. See how beautiful this monkey is, right? Next, the skin, very important is what? The skin is covered by hairs except in cetacea. In cetaceans, no hair. So, the skin is covered by hairs except in cetaceans, and they possess external ear lobe or pinna, like how we have the external ear or pinna, which is to receive the sound, right? The sound waves are received by the external pinna. So what are the other very important characteristic feature? The skin is covered by hair. It's a very, very important mammalian character. Except for cetaceans, the rest of the animals, you can see the skin is covered by hair, and they possess an external ear, which is otherwise called pinna, to receive the sound waves. Next, very important is dentition is thecodont, diffeodont and heterodont. I think I need to explain about this very important point. What do you mean by dentition? Dentition means arrangement of teeth is called dentition. What do you mean by dentition? Arrangement of teeth is called, in the jaw, is called dentition. I think all of us know we are all jawed animals. We are having a teeth. Whereas in case of birds, jaw is modified into what? Into a beak. So toothless beak there. Here, arrangement of teeth is called dentition. And what do you mean by thecodont dentition? The teeth are located in the bony socket called jaw. So as you know, even in human beings, you can see the teeth is enclosed in a bony socket, right? And hence such type of teeth is called thecodont dentition. What is dentition? Arrangement of teeth is called dentition. What do you mean by thecodont dentition? Teeth are located in the bony socket called jaw, hence it is called thecodont. What do you mean by diffeodont? There are two sets of teeth in the lifetime of an individual. That is milk teeth and the permanent teeth. Right. So like for example in human beings you might have come across. So we have two sets of teeth, and that occurrence of two sets of teeth in the lifetime of an individual is called diffeodont dentition. Diffeo means two. Diffeodont dentition. What do you mean by diffeodont dentition? What do you mean by thecodont? Enclosed in a bony socket. What do you mean by dentition? Dentition means what? Arrangement of teeth. Thecodont dentition, the teeth is located in the bony socket, hence it is called thecodont dentition. What do you mean by diffeodont dentition? There are two sets of teeth in the lifetime of an individual. One is called the milk teeth and the other one is called permanent teeth. The milk teeth is replaced by permanent teeth. The only difference is molars are absent. Molars are absent in milk teeth. Molars are present in permanent teeth. So such a type of teeth is called diffeodont dentition. Moving on to the last but one called heterodont dentition. Hetero means what? Different. There are different types of teeth like incisors, canines, molars and premolars. You know, we have different animals have different types of teeth for different mechanism. For example, like incisors are very prominent in case of canines because they tear the flesh and eat. Tiger, dog, all these animals have incisors and canines very, very prominent so that they can tear the flesh and eat. So there are different types of teeth present meant for different purposes. That means the different types of teeth is called heterodont dentition, like incisors, canines, molars and premolars. So I repeat, the dentition is thecodont. What do you mean by dentition? Dentition means what? Arrangement of teeth. What do you mean by thecodont dentition? The teeth is located in a bony socket and such an arrangement of teeth is called thecodont dentition. What do you mean by diffeodont dentition? Diffeo means what? Two sets of teeth. So there are two sets of teeth in the life of an individual, that is the milk teeth replaced by the permanent. So milk teeth is in the younger, in the young age, that is in the childhood age, the milk teeth is present, and once the child grows, it is transformed into what? The permanent teeth. So what is the difference between the milk teeth and the permanent teeth? Milk teeth, molars are absent, and in permanent teeth, molars are present. Such a type of dentition is called diffeodont dentition. What do you mean by heterodont dentition? There are different types of teeth meant for different purposes. Maybe for tearing the flesh, maybe for biting, all that. So incisors, canines, molars and premolars, and such a type of dentition is called heterodont dentition. Next, very important is what? They have mammary glands to feed their young ones soon after their birth. So the young ones are fed with the milk that is produced by the mammary glands, hence the name mammals. Very important. Next, the fertilization and development is internal. So the process of fertilization, fusion of the gametes takes place inside the body, and very important is development is direct, not having any larval stage. So even the development of the embryo takes place inside the body. So the fertilization and development is internal, very important. And the fetus develops a placenta which provides nourishment. This is a very, very unique thing which you come across in mammals. So there is a maternal connection between the developing fetus and the mother through a maternal connectivity, and that is called as placenta. So all the requirements that is required for the developing fetus is supplied through placenta, which is a very unique thing which you come across in this animal. So hence we also call them as what? Placental mammals. So what are the very important other features? The skin is covered by hairs, and they possess what? External earlobe or pinna which receives the sound waves. And the dentition, already I explained, the dentition is thecodont, diffeodont and heterodont. And they have mammary glands which produces the milk, and that milk is used to feed the young ones after birth. Next, the fertilization and development is internal, and the fetus develops a placenta which provides nourishment, and placenta is called as a connecting link between the developing fetus and the maternal body. Moving on to the examples. We can classify the mammals into different types. What are they? First one is called the egg-laying mammals. You might have, as I said, usually they are viviparous. Mammals are viviparous, that is, they give birth to young ones, except for echidna. Echidna, which is an egg-laying mammal. So usually the mammals are viviparous. Hope you might have come across. Birds are oviparous, egg-laying animals. They lay eggs, and that too cleodoic eggs, calcareous shelled eggs. Here they are viviparous. They give birth to young ones, except for like echidna, which is an egg-laying mammal. So here we classify them into egg-laying mammals, flying mammals, bat, aquatic mammals, 4 terrestrial mammals, 5 pouched mammals, and 6 placental mammals. So we classify the mammals into how many types? 6 types. What are they? Egg-laying mammals, those animals which lay eggs, flying mammals which fly, aquatic mammals which live in water, terrestrial mammals which live on land, pouched mammals. They have a pouch in like for example, you might have come across kangaroo. Kangaroo has a purse-like structure, a pouch-like structure where the young one is kept and taken care. Such mammals are called pouched mammals. Now what do you mean by placental mammals? As I said, placenta forms a connecting link, or it is a organic connection between the developing fetus and the mother, maternal body, and such mammals are called as what? Placental mammals. Now let us study one by one the examples. Egg laying mammal. All these examples are very important. They'll ask, give an example of a placental mammal, give an example of pouched mammal, give an example of aquatic mammals. What are aquatic mammals? What are flying mammals? What are egg laying mammals? So they'll ask like that. So egg laying mammals are what? Echidna, platypus, which is also called as ornithorhynchus. Flying mammal, bat is an example. Then aquatic mammal, whale, dolphin and hippopotamus. You might have come across, even hippopotamus is always in water. Dolphin is always in water. Whale, as I said, aquatic mammal and whale, all these animals are able to survive in water. No, we cannot survive in water. Terrestrial animals cannot survive in water. Why? Because we cannot withstand that cold condition. But in these animals, they have a fat tissue called adipose tissue. Adipose tissue, which acts as an insulator, which generates what? Heat. And that is very important to overcome the cold condition in water. Next, terrestrial mammals like cat, felis, elephas, that is elephant, horse, equus, Panthera tigris, tiger, Panthera leo, lion. All these are called, and as I said, particularly when we come across tiger, then Panthera leo, as I said, the canines are incisors and canines are more prominent. Then pouched mammals, kangaroo, which is otherwise called macropus. Then placental mammals, horse, zebra, monkey, elephant, man. All these are the examples for placental mammals. So once again, egg-laying mammals, flying mammals, aquatic mammals, terrestrial mammals, pouched mammals and placental mammals. So what are the examples for egg-laying mammals? Echidna, platypus. For flying mammal, bat. Aquatic mammal, whale, dolphin, hippopotamus. Terrestrial, cat, elephas, that is elephant, horse, Panthera tigris, panther, and many more mammals you come across, they are on land. Pouched, that is pouched mammals, kangaroo. Then placental mammals, horse, zebra, monkey, elephant, man. You might have seen them, the mother feeding their young ones. So they also have what? Mammary glands, which produces the milk to feed their young ones. All these are the classical examples for mammals. Hope you have understood a very, very important class of the animal kingdom, that is class Mammalia, which is the last class of this very important chapter called Animal Kingdom. Now let us brief up. So far we studied about both the invertebrates as well as the vertebrates. So we call chordates as what? Vertebrates. That is those animals which have a backbone. Invertebrates, chordates we call them as lower animals, higher animals, and non-chordates we call them as lower animals. Now let us see the difference. This is a very important concept which is asked in the exam for 2 marks also. So you are supposed to write 4 very important differences between the chordates and the non-chordata. So chordata are also, as I said, non-chordates, invertebrates. Chordata, vertebrata. The non-chordata, invertebrates. These are vertebrates and these are invertebrates. So here, notochord is present. As I said, a hollow tubular structure called notochord is present in the embryonic stage, and later on it is transformed into a hard solid structure called the vertebral column or the backbone, which is a very, very unique feature of the chordates. Whereas notochord is absent, hence the name invertebrates, without vertebral column. They have a tubular nerve cord. Nerve cord is absent in case of invertebrates. Paired pharyngeal gill clefts are present. They are absent. Then they possess ventral heart. They possess dorsal heart. Here the heart is located on the ventral surface of the body. Here the heart is located on the dorsal surface of the body. Post-anal tail is present. Post-anal tail is absent. They are eucoelomates, true coelomates. They may be acoelomates, pseudocoelomates and eucoelomates. As you have come across in many of phyla, like for example platyhelminths, they are acoelomates. Right. So like that we come across many invertebrate phyla, maybe either acoelomates, pseudocoelomates and eucoelomates. Next, all are triploblastic. As you know, the body wall is made up of 3 germinal layers: outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, and middle mesoderm. Here you might have come across, they may be acellular, diploblastic and triploblastic. You have come across some are acellular, some are diploblastic, having only 2 body wall, 2 body layers, that is ectoderm and endoderm, and in between there is a non-cellular mesoglia. And triploblastic, they might be also be triploblastic, like you have come across in many invertebrate phyla, like they are triploblastic, having 3 germinal layers, that is outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, and middle mesoderm. And they are showing bilateral symmetry. Here there's like for example, porifera is asymmetrical. Some are radial. What do you mean by radial symmetry? You can cut the body of the animals into 2 equal halves in more than one plane. Bilateral symmetry, you can cut the body of an animal into 2 equal halves in one plane. Then biradial nature, for example, you have come across in echinoderms. The larval forms exhibit bilateral symmetry and the adults will exhibit radial symmetry. So all the types you come across in case of invertebrates, but in case of chordata they are bilaterally symmetrical. All these are the very important differences between the chordates and non-chordates. So once again we'll brief up what is the difference between chordates and non-chordates. Notochord is present, notochord is absent. They have a tubular nerve cord is absent. Paired pharyngeal gill clefts are present, they are absent. They possess ventral heart, they possess dorsal heart. Post-anal tail is present, post-anal tail is absent in invertebrates. They are eocoelomates, here they may be acoelomates, pseudocoelomates and eucoelomates. They are triploblastic, here they may be acellular, diploblastic and triploblastic. They show bilateral symmetry, here they show some are asymmetrical, some are radial, some are bilateral and some are biradial nature. So these are all the very important differences between the chordates and the non-chordates. Hope you have understood all the phylas what I have explained, all the phylas and the class what I have explained in this very interesting chapter called Animal Kingdom. Hope you enjoyed this classes. As I said, the animals are the beautiful organisms on this planet Earth and they are diverse. But here you have come across many varieties of animals with a variety of characteristic features and many good examples. As I said, you have to have interest in the study of biology, and that will create, and that interest will help you to understand the concepts in detail. So I'll be back with one more very interesting chapter in the coming session. Till then, goodbye and thank you.